What's going on, family? This is the underrated. My channel's the underrated one. Number one grinder. One of the best kept secrets on YouTube. The best of the business. Believe I'll be putting it down for a minute. This is the underrated boxing talk. Number 33. We're going to have fun after the intro.
But y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna see me? I'm the Osiris of this shit. Check this out. Perfect. Champion, the way of the warrior, champion eyes, get back up, my spirit cries.
But you're a well-rounded warrior. You keep on fighting. That's what I am. Well-rounded warrior. I say for me, I've been passed over with my family, my fans, so-called family, some so-called family members, some friends, and etc. Pass over me. They feel that I'm not even there. And I used to accept it as I'm gonna prove something to you. Nah. That I have to understand when I get older is what I am. And I have to understand that when I'm moving of a certain space of my life to strive to do better, not that many people is going to understand your vision. Not many people is refused to understand the growth of your vision, of your self-vision. The growth of your vision help some.
You ain't lying.
What's up? Before I bring the brother in, let me read this out. Come enjoy real conversation with the number one grinder. Us as the righteous ones. Individually, let's make a change within ourselves and genuine being there for each other. Remember that. We all we got. Yup. Cut this off. Welcome, brother. You gonna mute your mic. TS Boxing. Okay. No doubt, bro. You gonna mute your mic. What's up, brother? How you doing? Can't hear you. When Tui come again, welcome to the underrated boxing talk number 33. We got Marine, and in a few minutes TS Boxing, he be coming back on. I find some more people to get on. So I don't know what's going on, Jamboree. Jamboree, unmute your mic if you're there. And everything else, if you're there, unmute your mic. We're gonna talk about some things tonight. Shout out to Renee Box Young. I was on there and everything. Shout out to you. Thanks for showing me love. With LeVar. Very much appreciated. Let me mute my mic for a few seconds. Hey, I'm back. I'm back. Um, we're trying to get this things done. Damn, what's up with this? Okay. Oh, there it is, right there. So I don't know. The Jamboree, Jamboree, you gotta mute your mic. Unmute your mic. Let's see. What's going on? Yeah, but we heard that the fight Pacquiao with Spence was like it was oh, he got it also. He probably most likely he'd come back. Hold on for 1 second, please. All right, hold on, bro. Hold on. Let's see. So we're waiting for some more people to come through. I got you, Jerry. I didn't forget about you. Let me take care of this first, and I'm gonna add you back in. Um, um, yeah. So that was talking. I heard that fight was in jeopardy, but I heard it's back on. Then there was the other fights we gonna talk about too tonight. Um, oh, TS Boxing, he should be here any minute. John Marie, watch out for your link. I'm coming. Here comes the link. The Jamboree, the Jamboree. I send the link out. All right. Hold on. let me read this to like some people. I got this for ESPN. On Saturday night, amid a night of tremendous performance, a knockout by Giovanni Davis, Vasquez Lomachenko news broke that Paradise Sports Management files a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Manny Pacquiao alleged breach of contract and attempt to obtain an injunction to stop Pacquiao from fighting Errol Spence on August 21st in Las Vegas. After seeing what a judgment in the courts did, the platinum heavyweight world title unified fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, should fans be worried the lawsuit from Paradis, which also represents Conor McGregor, will keep Spence and Pacquiao from happening as scheduled or at all? Speaking of Davis, his performance after jumping up two divisions was tremendous. It's a bit nervy at the outset. Where exactly does he stands in the hierarchy? 130, 132, and 140. Could he already be second best in all of those weight classifications? Lomachenko's future falls squarely in the middle of those divisions, as a sudden change of heart from the Lopez clan seems to have put Lomachenko on track for his much-desired rematch against a younger Telefino Lopez, with all of his world titles on the line. With the date of Lopez's fight against George Cabos Jr. in limbo, filing a postponement from its original date due to Lopez's COVID-19 diagnosis. Could Lomachenko take a fight in the interim to stay sharp after one of the best performances of his career? Finally, with full title unification off the table for now, Joshua is set for a defense against mandatory challenge Alessio Usyk on September 25th. Could Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world title, spoil Joshua's shot against Fury or Deontay Wilder before it can happen? Our panel comprised of Bernardo Unit, Brett Ocampo, Michael Rothstein, and Nick Parkson digs into the latest headlines and separates what's real from what's not. Yeah, give me a break. I don't believe that. Story B, man, what's good? Bruce Goes, check your link. Check your link, Bruce Goes. Check your link. Check your email. I'll send the link to you. All right, what I'm reading right here, I really don't believe them. I really don't believe him and stuff like that. I really don't. Um, so so let's wait to find out. Let's wait to find out what's going on. And boxing scene. Let me read this. I was thinking I was talking about this. Canelo coach, let's get plant deal done. Then I like Charlo, Spence, and Benavides. Jamal Charlo may wish come true. Jamal Charlo, yep. Immediately following Canelo Alvarez crushing stoppage over Billy Joe Saunders on May 8th, the WBC middleweight champion Charlo called out the pound for pound king on social media, even when the Mexican superstar made it clear that he wants to become undisputed at 168 pound. The next fight, IBF titleist Kalen Plant said, "Fuck the money, after money, after fame, after networks." Charles said in the Instagram post, "I lose my title, I go to 168. Make the fight happen now." Lifelong Alvarez, confident in trainer Eddie Redoza, revealed that they are unmiserable to fight Charlo if the Texas is so-called inclined to take a two-step towards Alvarez. Oh, there you go, Brother Watcher. Brother Watcher from down under. What's good, homie?
What's up, man?
What's good, man? What's good?
Hey, you got someone in the chat, saying add me in.
Yeah, I already did that. Yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay.
I have to resend the email, so like that. So Bruce Goes, check your email. So we got some stuff to really talk about tonight. The Jeopardy. What I know you heard about it, the Jeopardy of the Pacquiao fight with Spence. What's your feelings about that?
Oh, I love it. You know, it's a real good one. You have to favor Spence. You know, Spence is surging right now. You know, and it's good that he's been able to continue his reign as champion, especially after that car crash. I think Manny is really up for this. You know, this is the big leagues, literally. You know, it's one of the biggest fights of the year, in my opinion, behind Wilder Fury. And yeah, it's a good fight. You know, both guys are southpaws. We got Manny, who is this like timeless fighter. You know, he's an all-time great already. You know, he truly is. And man, you know, I can't wait for it, man. I really can't. You know, I got Spence winning. I think early doors, though, it will be a cautious fight. I think early doors. But Manny, however, does have this knack of really getting you off guard. And, you know, Spence can't make mistakes like that, leaning back with the hands out. You know, Keith Thurman did a similar thing, and he got put on the floor. And I think both guys have to be careful not to give up too many shots to the body, because that will be crucial in this fight. You know, but yeah, that's a great one. I love it.
I think that there are people who's talking that Spence is going to lose, and he got Packett he got another trick on him. He gonna pull it out, but I think that this fight that Spence he tried with he trained with Blu-ray now, and I think that Derrick James, I think that they got something too, and I'm just saying that I'm not taking nothing away from Pacquiao, because he is a legend. There's no doubt about it. 8-time champion, But I say this: he never gonna get hit of a fighter like Spence. No. And I just hope that if he gets hurt, I hope that he will not be all hurt, because, as you know, bro, it can get very ugly.
Yeah, it can. I'm trying to think of guys like of a similar build to Spence. Like Joshua Clottey comes to mind. And he fought Pacquiao. And Manny won comfortably, but he didn't like break his face like he's done with other fighters. Like, Clottey has that real good use of the high guard. The other stuff that goes into it, though,
Mm-hmm.
he's not so good at. And I think Joshua was a good fighter, Joshua Clottey to be precise. But Spence puts up a good high guard himself, and it works better when he doesn't lean back and abandon it. I feel like there's a lot of fighters out here that previously have used good defense, good defensive maneuvers, good blocks, good covers, good use of rolls, but a lot of them have abandoned it. Like an example is Chisora. I have yet to see probably 18, 19, in probably 4 to 5 years, him use what he used to use way back. And Spence has to keep everything in the vault that he's learned because he's coming up against someone experienced. It's possible he could lose, but Spence, to me, I don't think Manny's gonna later on, especially, be able to prevent him from getting in because Jeff Horn was able to get in without really any head movement, without much of a jab. It might have been a lunging hook here and there, but he was able to push Manny back to the ropes, and close that distance. I'm not saying that's the only way Spence can impose his will on the ropes, but he does his best work there, in my opinion. I mean, he busted Sean Porter up. In my opinion, he got a little bit more of the better of it in that situation. Manny, to me, it's all about the experience and the smarts on his end, But it is a fight where your will be tested for sure.
Yeah. Now I heard I forgot the name. It was this other fighter. He said he's not gonna fight. He's not gonna fight him because he talked about his wife. What his name again?
Nonito Donaire?
Huh? Yeah.
I think
No, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think that's Donaire and Casimiro, I think.
Yes, so that's it. Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't just that. It was the VADA testing. They didn't sign up for VADA testing. Casimiro refused to sign. But I think the stuff about the wife and everything, I mean, look at what Dominic Breazeale did to Wilder's brother. He grabbed him by the collar and smacked and punched him in the jaw. And Wilder's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking kill that kid. Like, he punched my brother. I'm going to fucking annihilate him. And look what happened, Yeah. And that, to me, I think that is a little weakness on Donaire's part. Like, you let him actually let that affect you to that extent. Because I don't really rate Casimiro.
Right.
But, like, kind of leave that out. Like, I get it. Like, the main reason was VADA testing, and I'm all about that, as everyone knows. But, like, the stuff about the wife, if someone says something about you, those are fighting words a lot of the time. And with fighting words, means that, that has to be backed up in the ring, The same thing applies. Look at Kamaru Usman in the UFC, because we're talking combat sports here. People have said the fucking worst things about him. Like, people have said, oh, his coach passed away. He's going to be watching in hell when you get knocked out. Hey, he still took the fight, though. He didn't use that as a reason to pull out or, anything else. But I see that there's a loser in the chat.
Got it.
So he can get smirked, I'm laughing at you, man. That's why I'm up here and you're down there, yeah? But anyway, yeah, I mean, look, thank you for the views. Subscribe to Underrated's channel and support. But anyway, yeah, is it, I understand, like, if someone says something about your wife, that is terrible. That's really bad, but it was probably best for him not to put it out there, just at this given time, at least.
That's cool. Yeah, where's this food come from?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, he's in no. Okay, yeah, but let's up. You know, we was like talking about me and Clarence and this brother named Big Leach. We was talking about trilogies in the past. What's your favorite trilogy in the past?
Straight away, Holyfield and Bo came to mind.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, Stormy. I love it, my man. Watcher. Yeah, man. Don't worry, I don't.
yeah. Story B, man. Stay right there. Go ahead, talk, watch. Go ahead.
Um, Holyfield and Bo. I mean, geez, like that just always comes to mind with that word trilogy. You know, we could be talking about something completely different, and that comes to mind. You know, that sure was something. It really was. You obviously got Ali, and you know, his rows with his contenders. I mean, Holyfield and Bo for me, dude. You know, Holyfield and Bo for me because
Yeah,
you know, like Ali and Frazier, those ones as well. You know, Thriller and Manila. You know, those two for me are there because you know the will in those fights was like tested like no other. You know, and a lot of the time, one of the opposing side was smaller. Frazier was smaller than Ali. Holyfield was smaller than what do you call it? Look, we got another loser. Hey, see you, Pop. I'll see you later, yeah?
Oh,
Look,
boy.
you got your fucking last name as Breland, dude. See you, dude. This guy, I don't even know what is that. What is that language, dude? What is that language? I don't know what you mean. You know?
What is
Oh well, see you later, Jeremiah. Yeah, you guys sleep. You gotta get hidden now. Anyway, Frazier was smaller than Ali, and Holyfield smaller than Bo, and like you know, considerable differences. You know, and and throughout these events and fights that they had, you know, there was just such a competitive nature there. You know, I love those fights, man. I love them.
Yeah,
Those are true. Those for me are truth fights. Those are truth fights.
Yeah, that's true. All right, before I continue, brother Stormy B, man, check your email. Check your email right now, please. Check your email. Bruce Goals, if you feel like coming up, emails right there too. I mean, the link is in the email. So I would say, I said Ali and Frazier because if you notice, when Frazier was fighting, right? I never knew Frazier had a right hand. He was going to the body with the right. He was coming with the left. He was boxing a little bit, you know. I said, oh, snap, Frazier got a right. He had a pretty good right, too. He was mixing up his punches, you know. And I said, wow. I said, Frazier, you should be doing it a long time. So, and you know, so that's the best trilogy. And who knows, it probably be trilogy way back. You know what I mean? That we don't even know. No?
Yeah. You know. You know, it's just funny. Like Frazier, he was able to close the distance a lot with without a jab at times in those three fights, and he would bang to the body, like you said, with the right hand. And yeah, you know, it's just a pleasure to watch. Love it. I love it.
What is yo? I know about trolls. You know, I had trolls coming. What's going on? What's up with Trump? You know? Oh, War Gotti trilogy. Right. Yeah, that was a great trilogy too. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they was going at it too. And you know, out of all that, they became best of friends too. And even when Total Gotti passed away, Ward took it very hard. Matter of fact, I think he introduced him to the Hall of Fame too.
Oh my god, those fights were freaking monstrous. Like,
Yes.
oh, jeez.
Tell the people about that trilogy, please. And people engage in these conversations too. Go ahead.
It's a fucking bloodbath, dude. Like, shit, And people like didn't like the second fight, but like straight up, that third fight just fucking delivered. Like, man, I saw highlights of it. I think a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I forgot whose channel it was. It was Jeff Jackson, I think. But he put fucking highlights up and everything. And oh yeah, Ali and Norton, that was a good one as well.
Yes, true.
Yeah, shit, man. Like that War Gaddy fight was fucking ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
one guy's getting dropped, and then later on in the fight, they're coming back to like just pour it on, like that volume punching.
Yeah,
I think if those guys had better defense, you probably wouldn't see as good as a fight because maybe there'd be a bit more caution there. But God, man, those guys, their strong suit, they threw those hooks, man. They threw those hooks. Those two could fight 100 rounds and it would be a split decision either way. Yeah, man. And you mentioned Ali and Ken Norton. Geez, man. I think Norton's trainer talked about Norton bringing the right hand out in front to catch Ali's jab, because he said that Ali's right hand would be on the side of the temple. There's a lot of like misinformation sometimes from the fights back then, but like even I was watching which wasn't a trilogy fight, but I was watching Holmes and Norton when I was overseas a couple years ago. And Norton always kept that right hand like in front of his face because he used that cross arm guard as well. And he'd weave, he'd roll under the shots. And, with his victories over Ali, that the volume punching was also a key thing. If you notice a lot of these trilogy fights, there's a lot of volume thrown, and it just speaks to the conditioning of a lot of these guys as well. Like they were fit back then. Like nowadays, I don't know, man. Guys talk about like strength and conditioning. But yeah, Oh, and while we're at it, we can boot that motherfucker out the chat.
I did.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the broken jaw as well. Shit, man, that freaking oh my god, dude. That's nuts.
Yeah. Let me say this. Story B, man, if you can hear me, I send a link to your email if you want to get on. You can feel free and stuff. So see the trolls come out tonight. Wow. Thank you.
No, it's just one. Just with one account.
Dang, what y'all mad for? You know what I'm saying? Dad. I mean, the number one grinder can't get love. I mean, like, what's up, y'all? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Y'all mad because I want to know. Y'all mad at kind of the underrated boxing talk reached 33. What's going on? You mad because Watcher he rolls with me? What's going on? I really like trolls. Y'all could be very creative. Man, y'all crazy, man. Like, it always things happen at 33, man.
Man. Yep.
And you before we continue, you had been most. You know what? You one of the few had been most of the boxing talk too. MMA, you know that, right?
Yeah. It's pretty good, I know.
You have been most of them. You most a few here and there, but you have been most of. Let me introduce you the one and only brother Stormy B Man in the building. Welcome, brother. Welcome to the underrated boxing talk number 33.
The number one grinder. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? And salute to you, Watcher.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, man. I'm just relaxing. I was taking you guys in, listening to your conversation, and I haven't had a chance to be on with Underrated in a minute. So when you sent the link, my computer is so slow loading up, man. I saw, when you said check your email, but
Uh-huh.
it took this long for my doggone computer to launch or whatever. So, but thanks for inviting me, man.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. We had talk about trilogies. So what is your favorite trilogy before we continue?
Wow. Yeah, I heard that discussion, and I know that as Watcher said, one of the ones that come to mind first and foremost is Bo and Holyfield, because it was one of the most recent uh big ones, where each fight had its own individual story. The first fight was Bo becoming a heavyweight champion for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and Evander Holyfield proving his legitimacy as a heavyweight for the first time. Remember, because after he defeated Buster Douglas, which people didn't give him much credit for that because Douglas allegedly came in out of shape, although he did fight other fights at the weight of 246 in his career. Matter of fact, he fought Oliver McCall weighing about 246, and he beat the crap out of Oliver McCall. So Evander didn't get credit for that. And he fought George Foreman in his first title defense, and they figured he beat an over-the-hill Foreman, even though Foreman was a formidable guy with a punch, but he was still 40 years old, and they didn't give him credit for that. So Bo, who was 24, 25 years old, young, in his prime and everything, it was a hard-fought fight, and that 10th round is the stuff of legend.
Mm-hmm.
The second fight was Fan Man interfering, and it developed his own story. But the side story was Bo came into that fight out of shape, and Holyfield appeared to be on his way to a possible stoppage because Bo was fatigued, he was cut, he was being beaten up, and in the 7th round, here comes Fan Man, and Holyfield was coming on. So, and then the third fight was just a knockdown drag out between the two, which Bo prevailed. And Holyfield dropped Bo for the first time in Bo's career with a left hook on an inside exchange. And nobody saw that coming. And Bo seemed to fall in slow motion. And it was near the corner. So when Bo was on the canvas, he was struggling to get up, and he used the ropes and stuff to pull himself up. And he went and stood in the corner as Holyfield tried to open up and follow up, and the bell rang. So Bo was actually in a good position being near those ropes, because had he been dropped in the middle of the ring, he might have fallen again, but it was near the ropes. So he was able to get up and right himself. So that fight had its own story, and he turned the tables and ended up knocking out Evander. So, and Evander is my favorite fighter. So I call it like it is. It's like, it's never one-sided for me. It was just an exciting trilogy. So I think that one is the one that comes to mind. But you guys also mentioned Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. Whoever thought that would have been, I remember the first bout when HBO aired it, they were talking about you could watch this fight in black and white as a throwback to the old days. And that's exactly what it was. It was a lot like LaMotta and those guys back in those days, so
yes,
but great stuff, man, and a great topic.
Yeah, and I've been talking about that fight. I remember my late father was telling me that Jake LaMotta, Bloodier, Carmen Berseri, and them old fighters like them the guys like back in the 40s and 50s. He just say he just come to fight. And you see they just go at it. But what I like about Mickey, what I think about Mickey Ward and Gotti, they bought the best out. I remember they was trading like body blows. I'm like, God damn, is somebody's going to drop? I was like, God damn, but it was fun. And then, like I would say, I don't know. I mean, but I'm gonna get to you, Bruce, Gold, in a few seconds. And Story Beamer, when you was getting yourself together, come up here. I think what impressed me about that fight, despite they didn't like each other, they became best of friends. And when a total Gotti passed away, you see the hurt that Mickey Ward you seen. And when he inducted him in the Hall of Fame, I can't imagine how he feels. You know? And when
that's interesting that you mentioned that. And look at Bo and Holyfield; they're best friends.
They're best of friends too, yeah.
But see, and this is a teachable moment here for anyone out there that's professional fighters and champions fighting today. This is why you need to fight your contemporaries. You need to fight the other guys that are considered the cream of the sport, because you build not only legacy for an individual basis, but for a historical basis for the sport. We will always remember you for what you do in that ring. We don't remember who made the most money. Right. We don't remember who had the most material possessions. We remember the battles and the stories behind the battles in the sport. And that's what people hold fast to. The reason that they talk about Ali Frazier, Bo Holyfield, Barrera Morales, the reason that those names come to mind is because these men wrote stories with the fights that they matched up with one another more than one time. Because just because you defeat a guy once doesn't mean you can do it again. And there's a story within that. A guy could have been mentally not up for it. He might have been hurt or injured in training and preparation. He might have had a fight with his woman or whatever before the night of the fight. You don't know. But when you have the opportunity to go in there and do it more than one time, what happens is sometimes your pride gets in there and you say, man, he got me last time, but I'm going to get that sucker this time. You know what I'm saying? So it brings the best out of you. And that's what these guys of today need to realize. I said after Earl Spence and Sean Porter fought that fight that they fought, I was like, that shouldn't be the end of it. I said, why not a rematch between those two men? Because that fight was very close. And even though Earl got that so-called knockdown in the fight, Porter's back never touched the canvas. Only the tip of his glove glanced the canvas, grazed it. So it's not like he got knocked off his feet. His knees buckled and his hand touched the floor. So it's not like he even used his hand to push himself up from the floor like Floyd did against Zab Judah. You understand? So when you have these things taking place, it is essential to the fighters of present day that they realize this is what makes people remember you. This is what brings them out. And you can't speak that enough. The only thing you could do is continue to give examples of it.
Great. Let me introduce the brother, Bruce Goes. How you feel, brother?
Thanks for having me on, man. Stormy B, man. Salute my brother. Watcher, how are you, my man? How are you? And
salute, man, Bruce, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. You know, I'm listening to the GRINDA doing is talk about the trilogies over here, man. And dude, I love these trilogies, and not only are they great for us, but then when you see the story behind them, most of these trilogies, they became great friends after these fights or between these fights. I mean, even like Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran, they were like oil and water. They couldn't stand each other after that first fight, and even the second fight. And Roberto Duran, it took him years to get over that until Sugar Ray Leonard went to Panama and they got together just, 10 years ago or so. And Duran got off his chest the way he felt. And it was beautiful. And this can only be done through boxing. When you get in the ring and go 45 rounds with somebody, and you still, and it's the ending is still not decided. And sometimes the ending is decided. Like we can go back to Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. What a series to live through, man. You think there's division in boxing now? You should have seen that first fight, man. The whole country was torn apart. It was the Vietnam War against the love it or leave it generation. I mean, there were fights in the street with the hard hats against the hippies. It was unbelievable times, man. But that's all such history, and we're looking at history unfolding before our eyes right now, man. And I just hope it unfolds the right way, in the ring. And I'm definitely here to talk about these trilogies, man. Stormy B, what was your favorite out of all the heavyweight trilogies that Ali went through? The two with Norton and the one with Joe Frazier. What did you think of those fights?
Well, the Joe Frazier and Ali trilogy, that was two men who could not conquer one another. They were about as even as you could be as champions in the fights that they fought. The difference were their styles, but they had the same conviction on the inside. The styles were the difference. And of course, their sizes, because if Joe Frazier was 6'3" or 6'4" like George Foreman was, he'd knock George Foreman out.
Oh, the perfect fight machine. Yes,
because he had a lot more under the hood than George did. But George had a physical advantage over Joe that Joe just could not overcome because of his size. That was it. But I just wanted to also say, now the Ken Norton and Ali trilogy really showed that Ali, who was definitely a prototype 1-2 puncher, jab, right hand, right? And he had great lateral movement and everything, but he didn't deal with unorthodox fighters very well. And that's what Ken Norton was. And Ken Norton had a mastermind of a trainer with Eddie Futch in his corner, who was able to help him tactically defeat Ali because he knew how to defeat Ali's style. And those two trilogies, they are great, but for different reasons. But if I had to pick between the two, definitely the Ali Frazier trilogy would be my favorite of those. Ken Norton happened to defeat Ali at a time and tie with Ali, because I don't think that Ali won any of those three fights, but I think at a time when the country was starting to rally behind Ali because of, they took the 3 years from his career and stuff like that. He finally lost to Frazier when he did come back. So people kind of was like starting to root for Ali. But Ken Norton was always going to be a nemesis. Great side story about the two of them too. And I'll make this very quick. When they were going to fight their first fight, they met in a lounge of a hotel there, for the fight. And this was before the fight. And Ali was in the lounge, and there were women around him and everything. And the champ was feeling himself. The ladies coming around, oh, Ali, and he's enjoying all that adornment and everything. And in walks Ken Norton, fresh off of Mandingo. He made the movie Mandingo, right? So he comes in there, butterfly collar shirt, unbuttoned down to the navel and stuff like they used to do in the 70s with gold chain and everything. And the ladies saw Mandingo and they ran over to Ken Norton, right? And they over there, oh, Ken Norton, and they kissing on him and stuff. And Ali got mad and he said to Norton, I'm gonna get you for that, Ken. I'm gonna get you for that, Ken.
Yeah.
He was mad that Norton took all the play away from him.
Yeah, see that was after the second fight. That was when Ken Norton. Ken Norton was a movie star then because everybody knew him. But see, in that first fight, Ali was very unprepared.
Right.
He had played golf.
I said the first fight. I meant the second fight. But that was such a hilarious story.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you telling that story, man. I think I might have spit up my glass of water at that one. It was it was hilarious. Ali was the stud, and the Mandingo came in there and put him in his place. But Ali was prepared for that second fight, man. That was a split decision that could have gone either way. And Ken Norton, like the first fight, he came in there like Buster Douglas did against Mike Tyson when they had their fight. Ali was lackadaisical. He got his jaw broken in the second round. We all talked about that. And to fight 10 rounds with a broken jaw like that, and the severity of it. Freddie Pacheco was pointing that out afterwards. I can remember watching a special on that. Unbelievable, man. No fighter that you can think of to come to mind could continue and fight a fight like that with a fighter like Norton, who was on fire that night. It was his chance to shine. He was a great puncher. I think he had one defeat. He was breaking into the top 10, and Ali just took him for granted. Taught him a serious lesson, because that was when they were going to make the Ali and the Ken Norton, the Ali and the Joe Frazier rematch, and Joe Frazier got beat, and then Ali gets beat, so it ends up as Joe Frazier against Ken Norton. We all know what happened there.
Yeah,
and,
great.
And then we eventually got to the Rumble in the Jungle and the trilogy with Ali and Joe Frazier, which turned out to be the best fight out of the three. Everybody can remember the Thriller in Manila, man.
Yeah,
well,
true.
Tommy, bring some memories back about that fight if you can, will you, brother?
Yeah, I will. But I want to get Tyrone and TS.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tyrone, man. I didn't even see you, brother.
Yeah, Tyrone, what you get into the piece? What's good, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no problem, Bruce.
No, but we're gonna ask you, because I want you to be part of this too. What is your favorite trilogy?
Well, Patterson Johansson is probably up there. You've got I hope it repeats itself here. We've got, who else? I think what comes to mind, like Stormy was saying, Norton Ali. Who else you got? I'm trying to think of more modern ones.
Was Graciano Zale a trilogy?
I think so. I'd have to check.
I believe so. That was that's one that's carved in stone.
Barkley. No, not Barkley Hearns. Was it Barkley Hearns, or was it
Hearns wasn't Barkley Hearns. No, Hearns. No, that was not a trilogy. No.
Yeah, Hearns and Leonard. Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard was a trilogy.
Was? No, yeah, that's what I was. Yeah,
that's two fights between Hearns.
I'm sorry.
But Duran and Leonard fought 3 times.
Right, they fought 3 times. Right, Duran Leonard 3 times. Right.
Oh, a funny one. I think I don't know if they have. No, they have 3 fights. Terry Norris and that Mexican guy that he kept losing to DQ by.
Vaca.
And he fought him like 3 times.
That was Jorge Vaca.
Yep. That was another one. That was just funny to me.
Oh, Vaca took the most beautiful dives in the history of boxing. I think he had his eyes open when he was being wheeled away on the stretcher, and both fights.
Yeah, he didn't open them until he left the ring, though. Remember, he was standing there. He was like blinking his eyes with his eyes closed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the camera was catching him. He would not open those eyes. He just laid there with his eyes shut. And then when they put him on the stretcher and pulled him out of the ring, as soon as he cleared the ring, he finally opened his eyes.
And Terry Norris is saying, look at him, what's going on here?
Okay. I want to talk about now are we going to start from UTS Boxing, Bruce Gold, Story Beaver, and Watcher. What is the best main event that stands out?
Well, the best fight I've seen in recent memory that I liked was Zapata versus Branchek. That was probably the best fight I've seen in recent memory.
Okay. Bruce goes.
Dude, fresh on my mind that cruiserweight fight that we saw Sunday night I can't even
Mhm.
think of the names. It was
Guy from Africa,
the
and it
Nigerian.
was yeah, and somebody named
Oh my
Brandon
God!
Glanton, something.
Yes. What a fight that was!
Yes.
Unexpected. These are the kind of fights that I'm sitting on the couch, kind of, just kicking. And all of a sudden, wow! Look at these guys. They're just absorbing one punch after another. To me, that was the best fight I've seen lately. So I'm going to have to say that the fight that I can't even remember the fighters' names. It was the cruiserweight fight that was on Sunday. Fantastic fight, man.
Got you. Okay. I be last. Story B, man, please.
The best fight of recent memory. Wow. You know what? If you're talking about at the top of the sport, where you're talking about, top fighters competing against each other, I
Either
would have
one.
to,
Either one. I'll make them.
I would rank the Tank Davis's win over Leo Santa Cruz, because that was exciting. That was an exciting, abrupt ending to a fight where they were competing, and the knockout was dramatic. He knocked the guy out right in front of his corner, in front of his family, and everything. It was just like, wow, and it was over just like that. And that was pretty entertaining.
Okay. Brother Watcher. Same question.
There's a lot that I've seen, and there's a lot on my list, and probably a few more that are better than the one I'm about to mention, which may come at a surprise for some people. But Dillian Whyte versus Derek Chisora won in 2016.
Oh, okay.
That fight was, and people know how I feel about Whyte and a bit about Chisora, but the lead up to that fight was violent. Like, Dillian Whyte was threatening Chisora's life. Chisora's throwing a freaking table. They're throwing glass and water bottle and like water glass at each other in the Sky Sports studio. There's a freaking brawl back scene. They had to do the weigh-ins separately at different venues, and you can't find the footage, the live broadcast for that for some reason. But both guys got booed when they walked to the arena. There wasn't really a favorite. They were both getting booed. They were hated in England. They were hated there. No one liked those two guys at all. They were getting booed in Manchester. And the first couple rounds, Chisora came out and, straight away, the body work, just throwing those hooks to the body. And, Dillian Whyte was using that previous Muay Thai experience, to try to clinch Chisora and hold him to stop him from, imposing himself and backing him up like that. And I think about the fifth round, Chisora landed a fucking big fucking hook, and Whyte was in serious trouble. And then, he then gets Chisora on the ropes because Chisora was out of shape for that fight. He wasn't in shape at all. And Dillian started to bust him up on the freaking corner post. And then Chisora had him out again almost. And then the last freaking round, Dillian Whyte threw a left hook. He likes his left hook. And he literally spun around in a circle. He went through the ropes. And the crowd just went nuts. And Chisora just walked over to him like stand up. And, that for me, man, I was laughing my ass off at that fight. Like, it was good, They both, I'll give credit there for those guys. They beat the living heck out of each other. Dillian won by decision, but, it was close. It was.
Okay. I said for me, when Wilder fought Brazilian, when he hit him with that right, it's like I felt it. But everything adds up to it. I had other ones in the past, but that one right there, it was personal. You see that? it was personal.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that one. I was really amped up because that was building up for years.
For years, yes.
Since 2017, and fucking Brazil was saying stuff about his wives and exes and everything, and he's like, "You got an effed up kid." He said that to Wilder, and look what happened. He got sparked. Wilder ended his career. He truly did end his career that night.
Yeah, it didn't help with that Urban Dictionary comment either.
Yeah, I remember when he said that, I was like, I kind of like sat back in my chair. I'm like, what? And he was trying to talk. When it got to the weigh-in, Brazil was trying to shit talk, but Wilder was having none of it. Silence is golden.
Mm-hmm. And he used his silence to break his face. And you said that was it. He didn't. I bet you he ain't gonna smile no more.
You know what Brazil said after the fight? He said that the referee stopped it too early. I'm not kidding. He said that.
Oh, God, you're swallowing.
Thank goodness.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Next question, and we're gonna start from Watcher, Story B Man, Brother Bruce, and TS Boxing. I want y'all to tell me who is the underrated great that we don't talk about it, and it could be any era.
Oh, shit, man. You put me on the spot there. Underrated, huh? You know who I think? You know who I think, in my view, doesn't get enough credit, and is kind of really overlooked. Dwight Braxton, aka the Camden Buzzsaw, Dwight Muhammad Kwawi. I think that's how you pronounce it. But he was like about 5'7", 5'6.5" or something, 5'7.5". And he fought at light heavyweight, he fought at cruiserweight, he fought at heavyweight. Okay, he fought George Foreman. George Foreman is 6'4",
Right.
and is like a freaking zombie in there, And I remember he pushed Kwawi once across the ring. He just pushed him on his shoulders, And I think the ref was like, "Oh, you can't do that, whatever." But he didn't give a shit. Like, it was like whatever. But man, he was there was a fight that Stormy showed on one of his shows where he was fighting a guy that was about 5'10". I forgot the guy's name. He was a young lad, but he tried to go macho with Dwight, but in about 3 rounds, he had nothing left because he was getting beat up, and he was getting beat up on the inside off the ropes. So I think that guy Dwight, he he was able to battle much larger men than himself at a pretty high weight as well in different divisions, and be a reigning champion there. I think that's someone who's a bit overlooked,
Okay.
I really do.
Got you. Okay. Good, excellent choice too. Story B Man.
Thomas the Hitman Hearns.
You took my why you took my answer?
Because it's a great answer. You listen, Tommy Hearns is probably one of the greatest fighters in history that is also one of the most underrated. Oh, see the tie in there? Underrated fighters in history where when you look at him pound for pound as the fighter he was during his career, going from welterweight all the way up to cruiserweight and knocking guys stiff with the same power punch of that right hand that he had. Plus, he was an excellent boxer. He could box with anyone. He probably had the biggest heart of anyone during his era that he fought. Yes, there were times when he suffered losses. Maybe his chin didn't hold up, but his will and his desire to be the best that he could be was undeniable. And even Marvin Hagler, when you watch the fight that they had, and Hagler had a ton of respect for Tommy after the fight. Tommy hit Marvin in that first round with his right hand, and he opened up a cut on Marvin's face, which when you're watching it on TV, you could see the blood, but it didn't look as bad as it really was. That was the kind of cut that could have stopped the fight. But Hagler, you could see the choice that he made after taking that shot from Tommy and was like, I got to go get this sucker. I can't let him keep hitting me like that. You understand? And Hagler made a choice. He rolled the dice, and Tommy didn't meet him with that. But Tommy was the type of fighter. It would have been interesting had they ever had a rematch, because I believe Tommy would have boxed a totally different way.
Yeah.
And Marvin never talked about that, but it was a scintillating fight. Excellent. But Tommy being able to go from welterweight all the way up to cruiserweight, accomplishing the feats that he did, I think, 8-time division champion. The man was something. And he could hold up in any era. I mean, you could put him back in Sugar Ray Robinson's days and he'd do well, because that's how great a boxer he was, puncher he was, and fighter he was. And he was also a stand-up individual, high character and morale guy. I love that about Tommy. And he doesn't get his just due.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna go more on Tommy when it's my turn. Brother Bruce goes.
Okay. Yeah. At least I had a few minutes to think about this, but I think the most underrated fighter that I lived through, I'm gonna say Tim Witherspoon. I don't think Tim got the recognition that he deserved. He came out of almost nowhere when he fought Larry Holmes. I think he had like 15 fights, something like that, and he fought Larry tooth and nail for 12 rounds. I mean, the 9th round of that fight, it was a round of the year candidate. He had Larry Holmes out on his feet. Larry Holmes somehow survived and came back swinging. I mean, it was rock'em sock'em robots for real with heavyweights. And after that, he just did great. He fought he fought a few contenders around, and then he won his first title, vacant WBC against Greg Page. He never made a successful defense of that title. He lost that one to Pinkman Thomas. That's kind of when they were passing around the titles. But then he got lucky enough to win it again. He won it from Tony Tubbs. This time he won the WBA version. Now, I don't know. You can correct me, but I think he's the only fighter to ever win the WBC and the WBA in a two belt era separately.
I think you're right.
But and the way he lost it, well, first of all, between the time he lost it, he went to Europe and he fought Frank Bruno, and he had a thing. Don King was really cheating Tim Witherspoon. I mean, it was a well-known fact. His son Carl was his manager. His father was his promoter. Tim Witherspoon was getting the short end of the money. And this is an era when heavyweights were making $2-3 million, especially a heavyweight champion of the world. And Tim Witherspoon went to England. He fought for short money. I think his contract called for $500,000, where Frank Bruno made over $3 million. And then when Tim Witherspoon came back, he found out that the check that he got, I believe, was around $75,000, with all the money that Don King took out and his son took out, expenses, purses, flight, hotel. I mean, Tim Witherspoon was a broken man after that. He lost his title on purpose in his next fight to James Bone Crusher Smith, just to get away from Don King. It was a sad night. It was a highly anticipated fight, Madison Square Garden. I think it was a Saturday night, man. It was like in December '86. It was it was prime time for a fight, and Tim Witherspoon just went in there to drop his title. So it was sad. He went on after that. He never quite achieved the success that he did in the early '80s. But he fought everybody, man. He fought Jose Revolta. He fought Carl the Truth Williams. He fought, Montel Griffith, Sherman Griffith, rather. Alfred Cole, Ray Mercer. It's a who's who, man. You can go on and on. That's who I'm gonna put on my list for the most underappreciated heavyweight most underappreciated fighter in my era that I can think of.
Got you. TS Boxing, same question, please.
Well, I didn't grow up around this time, but I think how good he was and skill wise isn't talked about enough. And I think he was overshadowed by Roy Jones and B Hop, but I'd have to go with James Toney. One
Oh
of
yeah.
Yeah, I think his skill is not talked about enough. How talented he was for somebody who really didn't start boxing until he was, a senior in high school.
Mm. Well, cause I was going to say second, James Tony. I would say with Stony B, man, I mean Thomas Hearns, Hitman Hearns. I think that I feel that Sugar Ray Leonard had the best first part of his career, but Thomas Hearns in his second part, he went to unify more titles than Sugar Ray Leonard. And I think the one thing that would really impress me about Thomas Hearns that he didn't have just a right hand. He started using it. He started knocking people with a left hand, knocking people with the body. And Soin B Man was saying he was a boxer. I remember he hit he. I remember he knocked somebody with an uppercut. He always involving, and that's why he was unifying the titles. But I feel at that time he was not getting the credit that he deserved. And I believe if he would not get hurt, he would not got injured in the cruiserweight. You probably looking, he probably would have won the title of the cruiserweight. So I would say, Tom. I would say I'm sticking to Tom Russell. But let me make this announcement. I will keep on going. This is please hit the like button and share this live. We very much appreciate it. My cash app is $ capital JT 53000. Also, paypal.me/ all in caps JT Black 53. So if you want to donate, that'd be greatly appreciated. Again, hit the like button, share this out, hit the bell twice. So whenever I come with a powerful live stream or video or sports, you will get it first. Now there is the next question. Is this right here? Who do you think is going to be upcoming? Who do you think right now is going to be a great? In the near future. We're gonna start from TS Boxing. We're gonna start from Brother Watcher, Story B-Man, and last Bush goes.
Jerron Ennis.
Hmm?
Jerron Ennis.
Okay. Next.
Oh man, I'd say Jerron. But I don't know. Like, I'm trying to see. If you asked me this question a year ago, I would have said Lawrence Okoli could really put a dent in people's plans because he's good, at cruiserweight. But he's a champion right now, so Jerron is there. I'm gonna have to look at some more novices. In fact, I was quite supportive of Chris Colbert, but I'll quite gladly say fuck him, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, got you. Story B-Man.
I think that Tank Davis, by the time it's all said and done, is going to have a very interesting not only resume but his status in the sport. I was questioning some things early on, and I recently did a video about him, but I see the blueprint now, and I see what he's capable of. He's a little man, but he brings something that people like, and that's the eraser. And he can box too. He just happens to be a little guy. He's so much shorter than a lot of his contemporaries. But my goodness, man, if he lay hands on you, he will knock your lights out. And people love that in the sport of boxing. They love it because they want to see the guy who escapes getting knocked out by the guy who can erase. They love it because sometimes when you're successful, they just want to hate on that and want to see you lose. So he's in a win-win situation now. Whereas 2, 3 years ago, when we used to hear Leonard Ellaby say things like, Tank Davis is a star. Well, he wasn't then, but he is now. And his adopted home of Atlanta, he can bring any fighter there and sell out and make big bucks. There's a formula that they've cultivated for him. He's growing into that role, and he's hitting home runs right now. So by the time I would like to see like 2 years from now where he is. And he has leverage because he could still fight at a lower weight right now before he settles in where he just recently had this victory. So, man, I'm on board with this now, with what's happening with him.
Okay, got you. Brother Bruce goes.
Yeah, Stormy, I'm going to add a little something to that. I agree with that 100%, man. Tank seems to have it all, and like you said, that home run at any time. And to me, that's so exciting because let's face it, man. Would we rather see a ball game go into the ninth inning, a 1-10 score, or we rather see it go 4-4, and then with that dramatic grand slam home run to win it? I mean, let's face it, man. I'd rather see that than a football game that's 3-47. I'd like to see 3-3 with 2 seconds to go at goal line. Man, it's the excitement that they bring, and Tank definitely does that. And the fighter that I think that I'm going to back right now is Shakur Stevenson, and I'll tell you why I'm backing him is because he's a complete boxer. He's pitching shutouts. The only thing I think he should do, I think he should concentrate on taking out the fighters that he's fighting right now. They're at a lower class, and they don't deserve to last 12 rounds with him. And like Stormy B said, that dramatic ending, that one-punch knockout, Tank is gifted with that. I think Shakur could do that on an accumulation of punches because he's so accurate and he has such speed. But I think we're going to see a lot from Shakur Stevenson, and don't go blinking on him because he's not putting people to sleep.
Okay, I said for me, I would say Boots. And Boots still young. He's still grown to that grown man's body. And there are some people say he gonna fight in the welterweight for a while. But I said for the next 2 years, he can actually move up and actually fight on 154 and be comfortable. So I said Boots in this and stuff. Okay, I'm going to ask one last question. We're going to close it out together. Now, now let's talk about oh man, it slipped my mind. Yeah, let me ask you this question about Crawford. Now there is some talk that Crawford was going to leave Top Rank, and he was going to the other company like BK. I mean, the one that's in overseas. And how do y'all think about that? We're gonna start from Watcher, Stormy B, Man, Bruce Ghost, and Ty and TS Boxing.
Boy, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that dude. You said overseas. He might be going to a place overseas. Oh, you mean MCK? Is that what you meant?
Right. That's what I mean. I call it overseas. I mean, I was gonna say organized crime, but I'm just being nice overseas.
Well, I mean, you really aren't far off because you have to understand the type of people that are involved with that. Okay, like for one, they're heavily associated in the UK. That's where they are, and they're associated in the Middle East a lot. Okay. There are certain people that run that. And again, like I said, if he splits from Bob Arum, that's good. That's one Satan that he's not with anymore. But just understand what you're getting yourself into if you move to MTK. Okay? Because, like I said, I had doubts just a little bit when Billy Joe fought Canelo. I thought, maybe some funny business can go on in that fight. You know, what happened. But the point being is, you know, Crawford for me, he's lost a bit of his self being under Bob Arum. Okay, when that happens, it's a real hard thing to get back. Sometimes you can't get it back. So it would be good for him to move from Top Rank, as everyone has been saying for years. I feel that whatever is best for him financially and getting the appropriate fights, that's the best option. But the moral side as well, the type of people you do business with, because business is cold and it's harsh. Okay, so MTK is just, for me, a little better, but it's still a risk, in my view.
Got you. Same question, Stormy B, man, please.
Man, I wish you could have asked about anything except for this guy. I don't like to talk about him anymore, and I don't.
So
I
you
have
can
very
skip, you skip it. We skip it. You don't want to
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about it?
yeah. I'd rather not even talk about him. You know, so no comment on that guy.
Okay, that's fine with me. Bruce goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that.
Okay, pass. Okay, TS, same thing, pass.
I mean, I just it's getting to a point where I feel like there's something more to this underneath the surface, because he's not a stupid guy. There's something much deeper than what we see out in the media. So I'll just leave it at that. That's what my feeling is on it.
I think
Okay.
at the end of the day, like even me, how I just worded it and everything, I don't like to talk about the guy either. But like, you know, as people that watch boxing, you know, we don't really concern ourselves with what
There
he
has
does.
to be a reason why he was sticking with Bob Arum for so long and is looking at him, TK.
Well,
There's something there, because he's not stupid. He knows what's going on.
for me, it's none of my business. All I'm gonna say is this: I think what he saw, he liked what he saw, and he took it, and it has. I don't know. I don't even like to talk about it much either, because, like, honestly, dude, like, I think, like, he's lost it. I think he has.
Gotcha. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. This is how I do it, brother Watcher. Bruce goes to TS Buck. This is how we close it out. And so being with you be well, it's been a while for you. I want everybody. We're gonna start from TS Boston, Bruce goes, Stormy B man, Watcher. Then I'm gonna close. Then I'm gonna say I want each of you to make it last month. I want you to stay right there because I want us to close it out as a family. TS Boxing, please.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show, man. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Bruce Goes, Stormy, Watcher, you Underrated. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just looking forward to good fights coming up, and hopefully they announce more for the end of the year. So yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you. Stay right there. Brother Bruce goes, please.
Hey, I appreciate coming on, because this is pure boxing. I love it. We can discuss the fights. We can discuss the facts. We don't kill each other for our opinions, man. I learned a lot of things on here. You can't please everybody. You have to please yourself. And I really appreciate you having me on here. Underrated, Stormy, man. It's really always a pleasure. I think I tell you this every time I see you to talk to you, man, because you have so much knowledge. Watcher, man, you're spot on. Tyrone, it's great talking with you, man. And Underrated, I just appreciate that you always invite me on your panels, man. So thanks very much. And you can see me with Duke at fourth quarter, man. We get together, we chop up nutrition, we chop up
Yes.
bodybuilding, and you can see me on other panels too. I appreciate it, man. God bless everybody out there.
Thank you. Stay right there. Stormy B, man, please. Last remarks.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me on. I've always been a supporter of you and your channel, and I know you've invited me at times, and it's all about scheduling for me, But when I'm available, I don't mind coming on and talking with you because I know that you have a great thing going here on your channel, even when you're not talking boxing. So salute to you, and thank you for having me. Salute to Watcher, Bruce Goes, and Tyrone. Always good chopping it up with you guys, man. And this was a very nice conversation of boxing. So, and I'm always down for that. So thanks again for having me.
All right, stay right there, please, brother. Watch out from down under.
You always get me with that, man. It has been a very nice conversation. You know, I've enjoyed it, man. You know, it's good to talk about the fights of the past, especially decades ago. Um, it's just a feel good conversation. This has been a feel good conversation for me. So thanks for having me on. And my last remark will be July 24th. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm gonna say it every time.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, I want you to stay right there too. I would say this. Thank you so much. It started slow, but it pick up, and everything. I want to thank TS Boxing. I want to thank brother TS Boxing, brother Bruce Goes, brother Storm B Man, brother Watch Up from Down Under. And this is the end of the underrated boxing talk number 33. Wow, number 33. A lot of people did not think. I hear some chipping. Oh, it's not going to make it, but we made the 33. So it goes to show when you put in the work and everything, when you work hard, things do happen. So we're going to keep on growing this thing. Then too. Oh, also I want the brothers on the chat. I want y'all to go. Panel on me. The ones in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. I did a live earlier. I want you to go check it out. Put some comments on it. People, put in the clouds. Put some comments on it. Please put some comments. Make the algorithm go up. Support the boxing. Support the boxing talk. And also support the MMA. MMA instead of 7 o'clock, it's gonna be 6 o'clock. Hopefully, brother Watcher and TS Boxing, we got a lot of MMA talk. So watch out for us a Sunday. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whoever travel to your destination or home right now, if you could travel safely, please travel safely to your destination home. If you travel in groups, that'd be great. If not, please take safety precaution. Again, please take safety precaution because we know out there, we know the climate out here is crazy. And I don't want nothing happen to y'all and your families. Until next time, good night. This is the end of the underrated boxing talk number 33. And this one is Ghost.